Tekhelet. Tekhelet is a color, a blue string that we're told in the Torah, v'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf b'til Tekhelet. The Jews should put on the corner of their four-cornered garments a blue thread. But what is this Tekhelet? Where does it come from? Look behind me. We're at the Kotel in the old city of Jerusalem. We see many different types of people, old and young, small and big, wearing all sorts of different types of talitot, also different shapes, different sizes, but very few of them actually wear the blue thread. What is this blue thread? Where did it go? I'm Ari. I'd like you to join me and three of my friends in an awesome expedition in search of Tekhelet.
The search for Tekhelet will take us on an exciting journey. We will try to find the link between a snail, a plant, a coin, and a ball of wool. We will witness the process of spinning wool into thread and knotting tzitziot. We will meet fascinating people, past and present, and be exposed to ancient ways and modern science. We will move through the desert, walk the streets of Jerusalem, dive in the Mediterranean Sea, visit a chemistry lab, and dig in an archaeological excavation, all in search of parts of this puzzle called Tekhelet. In the end, we will rediscover for ourselves the mitzvah of B'til Tekhelet, lost some 1,300 years ago.
What we have to keep in mind is that in ancient times, they didn't have all of the colors that we now have, the yellows and reds and greens. Everybody wore a kind of combed wool, like this talit, raw wool. It was a beige or a brown or a gray. So when the Jews would wear this blue, bright blue thread on their clothes, it would stand out immediately. People would immediately look at them and say, oh, that's different. Also keep in mind that who wore blue in ancient times? It was the kings. We see in the Megillah, Mordechai came out from before the king wearing techelet, wore royal clothes. He wore royal clothes when he left the king. Techelet. That's what he wore. The blues and the purples, that's what the kings and the priests wore. You have a manuscript here, a medieval manuscript, where you can see there's a picture of King Solomon, a picture of Aaron the priest, and both of them are wearing the techelet and the yargaman. Both of them are wearing the blues. And that's exactly what the techelet would connote. The ideas and the imagery that would be brought up when a person would look at these strings. He would remember, I'm not a peasant farmer. And no matter what his station in life, he would realize and he would hold his head up high and remember, I am a priest, I am a king, I am a prince.
Our first clue as to what the Tekhelet color is made of comes from the Talmud. Our sources tell us that the dye is derived from a snail, in Hebrew called a chilazon, found in the waters of the Mediterranean. The snail is similar to the sea, and its form is similar to a fish, and it comes up once in 70 years. Therefore, it is expensive. We need all our powers of deduction and imagination to understand from this what the chilazon is. Similar to the sea. In its color, it must resemble the water of the sea, or, for that matter, the seabed. It is similar to a fish. It is a live animal. From this, we must deduce that techelet can only be made from an animal. No plant will do to fulfill the commandment of tzitzit. It comes up once in 70 years. Therefore, it is expensive. This is a little more complicated, but the exaggerated metaphor is the sage's way of emphasizing the great expense.
Come, let's go meet Professor Felix, the world expert in biblical plants and animals. Let's hear what he has to say about Tekhelet.
It was our dream to have an entire talit made with Tekhelet. Fathers passed down the tzitziot, the talitot, throughout the generations. It was so expensive, that is why they used the Tekhelet in a very limited way.
We know today that it takes many snails to make one set of tzitzit. Our sages told us, often in metaphors, that the techelet was made from the snail. But which snail? Excavations at Hof Dor, known as the ancient city of Dora, shed light on our own search for Tekhelet. At many archaeological sites along the Mediterranean coast, in what was Phoenicia some 3,000 years ago, there is much evidence pointing to the use of the murex seashell in the dyeing industry. Ancient coins from Tyre show the trunculus as the symbol of this dye-producing city. Mounds of shells and vats with color stains indicate that these are the remnants of the dibromo indigo extracted from the murex. This purple color is the royal purple, known in Hebrew as argaman.
This site is very interesting because it's located on the coast, and in the Israelite period and in the Persian period it was a Phoenician city. It had a very interesting harbor. We are just now looking towards the south harbor of the Israelite period. And we also have here in this area, very close to the harbor, we have this purple dye installation which is so unique to find.
By deep-sea diving off the same coast today, we can reenact the process of extracting the dye from the murex family of seashells.
We dive off the Mediterranean coast to try and collect the murex truncular seashell. On one of our expeditions, we took along Nobel Prize-winning chemist Raoul Hoffman so that he could see for himself